Welcome back to the InfoWars Nightly News. I am your co-host now, Rob Dew. Thanks for David Knight for doing the news portion. And we want to focus on something today that's going to be on everybody's minds, definitely tomorrow and probably tonight too, and that's Halloween. And the candy that your kids are going to be eating. How safe is it? Well, there's lots of studies out there that the high fructose corn syrup, the aspartame, the different dyes are definitely going to have short-term and long-term effects on your kids. But how long is the Halloween candy going to last? Maybe, well, until the mid-November, maybe till after Thanksgiving. After that, those effects are going to be mitigated. But something they do every day is affecting their health. And that's the water that they drink, especially water that contains fluoride. And how do you know if you have fluoridated water in your area? Well, you have to go to the local water board and find out. You have to look on their website, see if they can have fluoride in their water. But first, before we get going, I want to start off with some snippets from a Crest commercial, and then we're going to talk to our guest here, who's a fluoride activist here in the local Austin area, who I've interviewed many times. She's also helped us get access to the water treatment plant here in Austin where they actually put the fluoride in their water. And we're going to be showing those clips. We're going to show all kinds of stuff because there's one thing I like to talk about. It's water fluoridation. So we're going to start here with this Crest commercial. And here you can see the kids are running around. They've been given candy, and there's a guy who's acting like a scientist talking about the effects the candy's having on their kids. And then it ends with a nice little Crest ad. And they really care about your kids' teeth. They're there to protect your teeth. And they even have a hashtag there, hashtag Sweet Halloween, which I want to take over here. So I turned down to my guest, Linda Green, who's a local Austin activist, who's been fighting the anti-water fluoridation fight for a long time now. You've gotten me into some situations where I was actually able to see and record the poison that they put in our water. And it even says it's poison on the side of the tanks that they use to fluoridate our water to the tune of 9 gallons per minute. They're putting this toxic waste byproduct in. And Linda, what do you think of that Crest commercial where they're telling you how bad Halloween candy is and then promoting their own toothpaste? And it's not just limited to Crest, it's companies, any fluoridated toothpaste is guilty of this.
Right. Well, there are a couple of issues that are going on with the idea that toothpaste can protect children's teeth. And from candy or from other food products, but they don't tell you that this actual sodium fluoride is also a byproduct. And in this case, sodium fluoride is a byproduct of the aluminum industry. They were producing fumes in the Alcoa plants that were causing people to become ill, that was causing cancer in men. And so they thought, well, what are we going to do with this fluoride? And they were able to figure out that they could turn it into a product and sell it to allegedly produce healthy teeth, because it seemed to make children's teeth hard, when in fact it really makes them brittle and pitted, and not only affects now we know their teeth, but soft tissue as well. Now our children, 41% of our teens have dental fluorosis, and if they have dental fluorosis, most likely they have soft tissue damage, particularly to their thyroids, their brain, and other parts of their body.
And don't take Linda's word or my word for it. Let's just read the back of the Crest Kids Cavity Protection Toothpaste. Active ingredient, sodium fluoride. Warning, keep out of reach of children under 6 years of age. If more than used for brushing is accidentally swallowed, get medical help or contact Poison Control Center immediately. Now, they don't have this warning on the back of candy. If you accidentally swallow it, contact Poison Control. But they do have it on the toothpaste that they're advertising, hey, this will help your kids. And it's not just Crest. You can look at any fluoridated toothpaste that I have here. We got Aquafresh, we have Sensodyne, Colgate. Here's another Crest for adults. They all have the same warning that if you swallow this, contact Poison Control. And the only difference in this and non-fluoridated toothpaste is the active ingredient of fluoride. So here you look at a Tom's of Maine, fluoride-free, or this Colgate. For kids, it says fluoride-free, safe if swallowed. We'll get a shot right there. It even says it right on the box, safe if swallowed. Right there, it tells you, hey, it's okay if you're having this kind of toothpaste because there's no fluoride in it, so you can swallow it. Really amazing stuff that they're using this, especially they're using Halloween in this hashtag, hashtag Sweet Halloween. I think we need to get our info warriors out there to hashtag Sweet Halloween and put, hey, have you read the back of your toothpaste, moms and dads? Just go read it, okay? If this stuff isn't safe to swallow, Why are they putting it into our drinking water for us to drink?
And another issue I have over toothpaste is your doctor, your dentist recommend that children brush their teeth for 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night. And most people who are into health and nutrition know when you take a homeopathic medicine, you put it under your tongue in liquid form.
Goes into your
so
bloodstream.
it goes to your brain faster and into your bloodstream faster. So here we have our children fluoridating for 2 minutes every morning, every night, and swallowing on top of that. 'Cause
Right.
most children do swallow. And another thing about Crest toothpaste that I heard just not too long ago is that they've promised to take the blue, shiny, glittery particles out of their children's toothpaste by, I think, 2017.
It's actually plastic.
It's plastic.
Yeah.
And some dental hygienist was wondering what all this blue, glittery stuff was in the gums of children. And so Crest has been around a long time in this fluoride deception. It's not just Crest, like you say, it's all the other toothpaste as well that add fluoride to the water and to the toothpaste.
Right. And we have a bigger hero, a guy who's out there fighting this fight every day now since he's retired, and that's Dr. Connett. We've had him here on the show many times. We've interviewed him. We've put tons of stuff out there from his perspective. He's even written a book, The Case Against Fluoride. And right now I want to go to a quick clip of him just talking about, this is just the dangers of fluoride. This is the stuff they put in your water that you're drinking every day. This is what your kids are drinking. So you really need to pay attention to this. Here's Dr. Connett.
I think the most important thing to recognize about fluoride is that it's extremely toxic. It is very active biologically, interfering with many basic biochemical processes, enzymes, G proteins, hydrogen bonds, and so on. So it shouldn't surprise us that there's a wide range of health effects that are attributed to fluoride. But the bottom line is that fluoride is extremely active biologically, that the first opponents of fluoridation going back to the 1950s were biochemists, including scientists like James Sumner, who won a Nobel Prize for enzyme chemistry. The level of fluoride in mother's milk, mother's breast milk, baby's first meal, is extremely low. It's 0.004 parts per million. That means a bottle-fed baby in a fluoridated community in the United States, where we fluoridate the water at 1 part per million, is getting 250 times higher dose of fluoride than a breastfed baby. And that is extremely disturbing. When the baby is born, the blood-brain barrier is not fully formed. We think the blood-brain barrier keeps fluoride out of the brain most of the time, but for the first half year of the baby's life, the fluoride can get into the brain. And this is not the time, in my view, and the view of many other scientists, that a baby should be exposed to fluoride at 250 times the level in mother's milk. There have now been over 100 animal studies which shows that fluoride damages the brain. There have also been 23 IQ studies, most of them from China, but one from India, one from Iran, and one from Mexico, which show an association between moderate exposure to fluoride and lowered IQ in children. And I actually
we have hours of Dr. Connett on this YouTube channel and on prisonplanet.tv just talking about the pitfalls that he's come up against. Here's an accredited professor of chemistry who's running into people that laugh at him when he talks about this. This is crazy stuff, but this is what's going on. So I encourage you to check out these other videos. One of the first articles I wrote for InfoWars was about fluoride and the dangers, and from the historical perspective, how it came to be put in our water supply. So this is a subject that I'm truly passionate about. Linda's passionate about it. So I hope you take this information seriously and do the research for yourself. Linda, let's get back to fluoridealert.org. This is one of the groups you work with. And they recently made a post of a city in the UK and a couple of cities in Canada that just recently got it out just by having people go and be activists in their area and put this information in front of the people who make these decisions. Tell us about that.
Well, there are cities all over the world that don't fluoridate. 97% of Western Europe does not add fluoride to the water. The UK being an exception. There are many grassroots organizations in the United Kingdom and Ireland who are fighting fluoride as well. And I recently attended the Fluoride Action Network conference in September. And there was a darling girl from Ireland who is going to create a comic book to educate children about fluoride, and she's called Fluoride Girl. And that's the beautiful thing about the grassroots movement, is that the politicians don't want to budge, and they want to protect the CDC that protects water fluoridation. So on a grassroots level, even in the tiniest little towns, we can have impact. And that's how it's happening now in the United Kingdom, in Canada. And actually in Austin, we've had such a difficult time because this is one of the ground zero places of opposition, being that our Health and Human Services director used to work at the CDC, and he gets millions of dollars for his anti-smoking campaign here in Austin. And so our city council has gone along with don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Next, we have Linda Green.
And the title, please, of my speech.
10 fluoride facts which Austin City Council is ignorant of is your title.
Yes, I should have said 10 fluoride facts which Austin City Council is willfully ignorant of. Ignorant meaning ignoring deliberately for the past 6 years these 10 facts. So I'm hoping maybe a color flyer will induce you to pay attention. But in smaller towns, we've had successes in Marble Falls, Alamo Heights, Elgin, College Station, and now we have a wonderful group in San Marcos called Communities for Thriving Water. Dr. Conant came down and spoke with some of the city council members and the mayor and candidates running for office there. So we need people to get out via your city council members and going and speaking and sharing all the resources that you'll find on the Fluoride Action Network website.
Right. It's a great resource, and they have videos. You guys have the 30 minutes of professional perspectives, which is just professionals talking about the adverse effects of fluoride. There's a link to Fluoride Gate, a new film, The Fluoride Deception, which is based on the book by Christopher Bryson. And basically, if you sit down and just look at the video material that's already out there, you will change your mind in a second of how you feel about water fluoridation in your community. And when you change your mind about it, you need to get active. You need to become an activist. And I want to talk about that right now, and then we're going to talk about a whistleblower memo. But the 3 things that anybody can do out there, anybody with a brain and vocal cords, anybody can do this, really. All you have to do is just realize that you're under attack and start taking action. So, Linda, let's talk about the 3 things people can do just to become activists in their area.
So you want to go and sign up to speak in front of your city council. Like you said, call your water board or call your city council and ask them if they fluoridate your water. Use the resources that you find at the Fluoride Action Network. The website is fluorideaction.net. And then you'll find these videos. A lot of people are so busy at work and they don't want to read a 250-page book or read a lot of data, but these videos are maybe 30-minute video for the Fluoride Deception, and it goes all the way back to the 30s when they first started talking about adding fluoride to the water, and the cover-up by the CDC and the big agribusiness.
Their modus operandi is to get water fluoridation in every community in America to protect our teeth. The government really cares about us that much that they really care about our teeth. Can you hand me the case against fluoride? I just want to read the front of this. How hazardous waste ended up in our drinking water and the bad science and powerful politics that keep it there. And that's by Dr. Paul Conant, PhD, James Beck, and H.S. Micklem. And these guys really put this together. It's bibliographed. I mean, most of this is bibliographed citations at the end of the book. I mean, Dr. Conant is really a force to be reckoned with, and I'm really glad that we were able to meet him and get him here. And he comes here a lot, and he really does. He is a dedicated crusader to this. Now, I want to get to this memo, and this memo is dated from 1962. Tell us about this, and then I'm going to read it out to everybody. What's on it?
Well, we're so grateful to so many whistleblowers over the years, and this memo that you have, that you're showing there, is from January 10th, 1962. But this is a report that came from F.J. Meyer, who I believe was a doctor there, And what they had discovered was that in Grand Rapids, the black population was greater damaged by water fluoridation, suffered greater harm from fluoridation, and yet the black community was never advised of this danger of adding chemicals to the water supply.
Let me read this memo right here. Dr. Russell told me today that Negroes in Grand Rapids had twice as much fluorosis as others and a community with a larger number of Negroes. Would this tend to change our optimum fluoride levels? Question mark. Would this observation indicate more studies in case opponents use this finding? And this is the thing. They tell you it's for poor people. It's for people who can't afford dental care. That's why we fluoridate their water, because we want to protect their teeth. That's what they tell you. That's the BS line that they feed you over and over again, that this is for poor people. And that's the big deception. It's not for poor people. It is for poor people. It's to hurt them. It's not to help them. There is no way fluoridation is to help anybody out there except the large corporations, the ConAgras out there, the Alcoas out there that have captured this because they're not allowed to put it out in their smokestacks. So they capture it in giant vats and then they ship it across the country to different water treatment plants. When they bring it up to Austin, we're going to show some video right now, and they hook it up to giant pumps and pipes. You can see where it's been dripping and the concrete is turned to powder. That's how deadly this stuff is. Guys, change one of the backgrounds. That you guys have some sodium fluoride backgrounds, and let's just look at what the packages say. Here's one right here. It says sodium fluoride, harmful if swallowed. Call a physician, okay? And this is in your toothpaste. It says the same thing. Yet why are they putting it in our drinking water and telling us it's for our own good? It's a total lie. It's nothing but a lie, and it's there to just keep, it's so these guys don't have to pay to get it stored like hazardous waste, because that's what it is. We're dealing with hazardous waste and a poison. This isn't rat poison.
And another big issue is that in 2006, a group of dentists, doctors, toxicologists got together, both pro-fluoride and anti-fluoride, and in the end result of their report was that from the National Research Council reported 2006 that 41% of our teens have dental fluorosis, and that fluoride in our water causes damage to bones, risk of bone fracture, that it's causing damage not only to children, but adults, black people, people with kidney disease, diabetes.
Causes thyroid problems.
Thyroid issues.
Calcifies in your pineal gland, which is your higher learning. That's your perception. That's like your ESP. You know, not that people have ESP. I'm just saying it's your sixth sense, essentially. And it calcifies in there. And there, we do have actually, I'm going to go ahead and plug a product right now, whether people like it or not, out there in YouTube land. The trolls hate when we do this, so I'm just going to go ahead and plug Fluoride Shield. This has been designed by Dr. Group to help get the fluoride and stuff that comes into your bones, comes into your glands, and help get rid of it. So I encourage you to pick up a bottle. We have some specials out there with the Fluoride Shield and some other products. I'd also encourage you to get a water filter, get a ProPure system, and start getting the fluoride out of your water.
Yes.
I mean, there's no reason. It does not cost that much money to get the fluoride out of your water. It's several $100s. Then after that, it's a couple $100 investment a year. It's worth it to get the fluoride out of your cooking water, out of your drinking water, out of your pet's water.
Absolutely.
This affects everybody, including your pets. Do you like your dog? Even if you don't have kids, stop giving your dog fluoridated water, okay? I want to end this with just a final thought from you. How many times have you spoken at City Council? Can you even count?
I really can't. I've been going to City Council for 6 years.
Yeah.
Fluoride affects many tissues in the body besides your teeth. Councilman Raleigh, we have thyroid disease. It affects your thyroid gland, your pineal gland, your brain. You're all aware of this. Ingesting fluoride accumulates half of it in your body, whatever you ingest. I was inspired by Alex. Alex is always telling people, go to your city council. And I bought the book, The Fluoride Deception, which The Fluoride Deception is actually a fascinating book. It reads like a mystery novel, but it was written by a BBC journalist and reporter, Christopher Bryson, and he spent 8 years researching this book, and it's very interesting, and it's what got me started on this campaign, because this toxin in our water affects everyone.
It does. Yeah, I just have a couple things I want to end with. One thing, go to, on all you people out on Twitter out there, go to hashtag or type in hashtag Sweet Halloween, and let's take over this meme that Crest is trying to put out that their fluoridated toothpaste is okay for the kids because it's going to keep them strong. But, say, hey, parents, have you read the back of it? Why is it okay for you to put this in your mouth if you're not supposed to swallow it? Because kids swallow it no matter what. It's going to happen. It's a poison. And I would throw out your fluoridated toothpaste right now and get non-fluoridated toothpaste. If you care for your kids, get a water filter. I mean, start cleansing this from your system. You're going to notice that you're thinking better. You're going to notice that you're going to have more imagination. I mean, it's amazing stuff when you get the fluoride out, and then you're going to notice, wow, the water tastes a lot different after you filter it, doesn't it?
It does.
Do your own research. Find out that what we're saying is not fantasy land. It's not conspiracy theory. It is based in hard science and fact. And you need to take a good look in the mirror and go, are your children worth it? Are you worth it? You need to get the fluoride, get the poisons out of your body.